I want to talk about why Journey Together is probably going to be a pretty expensive set. Now, I'm basing this off of the card prices from Battle Partners, which is the Japanese equivalent to Journey Together. So, Battle Partners has already been released, has been out for almost 2 weeks now. I feel like all the major price drops have already happened. Usually, after the first week of a set release, prices tend to drop, and I feel like it's already happened. It's possible that prices may continue to go down a little bit more, but I feel like it's not going to be anything major. So, I feel like it's pretty fair to talk about the current prices right now and talk about why I believe Journey Together, the set's going to be pretty expensive. So, I first want to talk about, though, I guess Japanese cards and why they are pretty much like 100% of the time cheaper, at least for modern stuff, cheaper than English. So the first thing is print quality. So the Japanese cards, they're a lot better, like print quality wise, because I don't know, just the cardboard they use and I guess the process, the quality is a lot better on the Japanese side. So there tends to not be as many, I guess, grading plays for Japanese cards as there are with English cards because English cards quality usually isn't that great. You could pull a fresh card out of a pack. You can have whitening. Sometimes things are really off center. So Japanese there tends to be less grading plays. English side there tends to be more grading plays, and therefore prices of just raw cards being cheaper on the Japanese side because there just isn't that many grading plays to be made compared to the English side. So people aren't as enticed to buy raw cards and try to grade them. So that's one reason. It's just print quality is better on the Japanese side. But other than that, Japanese pull rates are a lot easier than English pull rates, and we've seen that. Japanese, even some of the sets like Terrestrial Festival has a guaranteed pull rate. I think it was one SAR per box. English doesn't have any guaranteed pull rates, and just in general, Japanese side, there tends to be just more. They're more generous with pull rates, so it is easier to pull cards. So therefore, there isn't as much scarcity. It's not as hard to pull, so prices then tend to be cheaper. So those are like the main two reasons why I believe Japanese cards tend to be cheaper than the English side, and I mean that's been proven with pretty much every single Japanese set that's been released here. For modern sets, I mean it's always more expensive on the English side. So without the way, I just want to explain why. If you didn't know, I want to show you guys the prices of these cards in Battle Partners because, like I said, using I guess the reasoning and the knowledge of Japanese cards pretty much always being cheaper than English cards, showing you guys the Japanese equivalent to Journey Together Battle Partners here, showing you guys these prices, they're going to be cheaper here than they're going to be for Journey Together. So you can just imagine what they're going to be, right, for Journey Together. Now, a lot of stuff isn't known for Journey Together, right? We don't know pull rates, which is a massive thing. We don't know print quality. Those are two huge factors of what the price of the card is going to be. But if there's any indication, I guess, of recent main sets in pull rates, it's probably going to be somewhat difficult. I mean, look at Surging Sparks. The pull rates aren't that great. It's pretty hard to pull an SAR. So if it's the same for this set, because it's the main set Journey Together, cards are probably going to be pretty expensive, even besides even knowing print quality. But anyways, looking at the cards here, Lily's Clefairy SAR. This was pretty obviously going to be the most expensive card, and it is. It's selling for the mid 400s. I've checked, a lot of listings. It sells for around 450, like around that range. This is on the Japanese side, guys. This is not the English side. So this is already mid 400s. Now, like I said, prices can drop a little bit, yes, in time. But think about it this way. The Pikachu from Thunderbreaker or whatever it was called, it's Surging Sparks on the Japanese side. The Pikachu SAR, I think, was selling in the mid 200s or low 300s. What is it on the English side? Like $500. So this mean, mid 400s right now. This Lily's Clefairy SAR. What is it going to be on the English side? Obviously, it's up for debate, up to guess because we don't really know. But seeing this, if prices stay this way until the release of Journey Together, I believe this card is probably going to be above $600 because it's already at 450. I think on the English side, I think it easily can be $600 if it stays this price until the release of Journey Together. I think we could see a $600+ card, which means it would be more expensive than the Pikachu SAR from Surging Sparks, which would be kind of crazy to see because I think the Pikachu SAR is maybe the third most expensive card now, from Scarlet and Violet, And this might surpass it, seeing the price of this right now, which is kind of crazy to see. And this being, a Lily card, and we've seen how Lily cards and stuff have performed in the past, I think that wouldn't be that insane to see price wise, but it would be kind of surprising, I guess, in a way, because if it reaches around 600 bucks, it'd be like the second most expensive card in this era, which would be kind of crazy because, I've talked about it before. There's a good amount of, I guess, hate or whatever for Journey Together. But yeah, this card could easily, in my opinion, if it stays this price, be $600 plus on the English side. Now, the next most expensive card is the Iono's Belly Bolt. This is selling in the mid 200s. So if this is, I think this is around what the Pikachu SAR was selling on the Japanese side. I think this could be maybe a $400 card, maybe close to the Pikachu. This is like I said, the second most expensive card in the set. So another pretty big chase, mid 200s for a Japanese card. I think it could convert to around maybe 400 bucks English. Obviously, everything it's all just guessing. But just based on what I've seen from the past, I don't think that's that crazy to say. So maybe I'll end up maybe in the 400, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, this is still pretty expensive for a Japanese card. Now we have the End Zoroark. I'm honestly kind of surprised this isn't more expensive. But this is selling for around like 130, 140 bucks. So on the English side, maybe this is going to be maybe mid 200s. Maybe it's going to be similar to maybe the Latios EX from Surging Sparks. But yeah, I am surprised this isn't more expensive than what it is, but it's still selling for a decent amount. Now the Salamence, I was also surprised. I thought this would be more expensive, but it's only selling for around 50 bucks. So the English side maybe it's going to be close to 100, something around there. But yeah, I thought this would be more expensive. And then, like not a very sought after, I guess, trainer, Hops Zacian. This is selling for around 50 bucks, pretty similar to the Salamence, so maybe close to 100 bucks on the English side. And the least wanted, SAR, I don't think this was that surprising to see. The Volcanion, this is selling for around 20 bucks, so probably going to be a pretty cheap SAR on the English side. Now, I want to just show you guys some proof of, I guess, Japanese side cards being a lot cheaper than English side cards. A perfect example is the most recent set, Prismatic Evolutions. Look at the most expensive cards. The Moonbreon here, or Sunbreon, whatever you want to call it, is 400 bucks. Umbreon Master Ball, 300 bucks. Sylveon EX, 140 bucks. And you look at all these cards, right? You see all the prices. And then you look at the English side. It's very different. Now, this is it's not going to be like a one-for-one replica with, Journey Together, how, this card's 400 bucks and here it's 1600, so it's 4 times the amount. It's not like that. Like, it's not going to be the same, like, just because, the Lily's Clefairy is mid 400s. It's not, that card's not going to be 4 times what it is. That's not what I'm trying to say here, but I'm showing you guys that it's pretty evident that English cards are pretty much always more expensive, at least for modern stuff. English cards are more expensive than the Japanese side by far. Like, look at all these cards. All these SARs, they're sub 100. Look what they're at on the English side. So it's just some proof to show you guys what I mean here, and that Journey Together is probably going to be pretty expensive because, like I said, Liz Clefairy, mid 400s. What is it going to be like on the English side? Like I said, I think if it stays there, easily above 600 bucks. Even the Belly Bolt, Iono's Belly Bolt, that could be maybe 400 bucks. It's going to be pretty expensive, like the set. It's going to, honestly, just based on what we're seeing with the prices here, it might be similar or more expensive than Surging Sparks, especially with that, Lily's Clefairy card. And I didn't even go over the illustration rares. I think it'd be more expensive than Surging Sparks, possibly. Will it sustain long term? I don't know. Maybe Surging Sparks long term maybe will perform better than Journey Together. I don't know. But it does look like what we're looking here from the prices of Battle Partners, that it might be maybe the second most expensive set from the Scarlet and Violet era, because I believe Surging Sparks might be second. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I haven't checked in a while. But yeah, this probably looks like it might be the second most expensive set from this era. And it's pretty funny. It's all the recent sets has been super expensive. But yeah, Journey Together, booster boxes right now are selling for almost 200 bucks. It would make sense that this would be a pretty expensive set just based on that, and just everything selling out on that, that day, Pokemon Center, when everything dropped. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, guys, that Journey Together is probably going to be pretty expensive. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.